Alright lads, career mode is back. This is season 4 and now we're driving for Lotus in season 4 of career mode. I sincerely apologise about the lengthy break between episodes, but now we're back for the Australian Grand Prix. We have a night race on our hands, so now we're on the PC, we can do some mods and stuff. And if you'd like to see more night races in the future, then let me know. Let me know what tracks you want to see in the night. But here we are in Melbourne, starting from last place. We had some issues in qualifying. We had to replace some components in the power unit, so unfortunately we'll be starting from the back. The game wants me to do a one-stop, so that's going to be pretty tricky if you know my record of tyre saving methods from previous seasons, but we'll do our best to get the best result we can. But yeah, starting from last in a Lotus. I believe Grosjean didn't qualify that well either, so it's going to be interesting to see how this race and this season plays out. So without further ado, lads, let's get this season underway. Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Australian Grand Prix. We're going to start from cinematic view. As we can see, the two Mercedes are starting on the front row and now just waiting for those 5 red lights to go out. And Season 4 will be underway, and away we go here in Melbourne. Looks like the getaway for the leaders has been fairly clean as we cut to the back of the field now. We're just having a nice and easy start coming into Turn 1. We don't want to have any issues as we have realistic damage to contend with for this season. We don't want to lose any of our front wing and come back into the pits. But either way, we've got up into 21st place. And now going up the inside of the Caterhams. And Chilton now coming into Turn 3. Grosjean down in 17th. We're just going to take this nice and easy. As we can see, bits of debris everywhere, all over the track. So it wouldn't be a surprise to see some cars having punctures if they run over those pieces of debris. But we're up the inside of Gutierrez there, giving Verne a slight touch there. But thankfully, our front wing didn't collapse there into that corner. But either way, we're up into 16th place now. Fairly decent start. Grosjean now follows me into 17th place, but now we'll be looking to get up as high as we can on these opening couple of laps. This is where you really want to have a nice start. We got the inside of Verne and we leave him just enough room to get through. Next up is Adrian Sutil in that Sauber, and he should be easy pickings as that Sauber is fairly slow this season. But first lap, or halfway through the first lap, and we've come through without any major damage. I believe some of the runners in the midfield have damage, and they might be coming in for a pit stop at the end of this lap. We can see some slow cars through here. Maybe Massa and the Williams has damage, or maybe Perez. We'll have to wait and see as we go past them, but these guys are going very slowly. It allows the leaders to get away as we go around the outside of Sutil there and into 14th place. So you really need a good start in these Grand Prix to pick up these positions early on, because after the first couple of laps, finding positions can be a lot harder to find, especially if you don't have good straight line speed that this Lotus doesn't have, being a Renault engine. But we see a lot of debris on the exit of Turn 1. Kimi Raikkonen goes off there in the Ferrari, and I believe Sergio Perez or Valtteri Bottas is damaged. Either way, I saw a clutter of front wings going everywhere. It might have been Hulkenberg actually as we go around the outside. 3 wide now into Turn 4, and we go up into 8th place as Hulkenberg goes wide. We need to see a replay of that. That was just absolutely crazy how we managed to fit 3 cars through there. And as you can see now on the slow-mo, going around the outside of Bottas, who has damage, and on the outside of us, I believe, was Sergio Perez. And look at how close we got to that Force India there. Very close and tight racing there. That was absolutely fantastic. But Sergio tries to hold around the outside, but he just can't do that because he's on the dirty line. He's got marbles under his tyres and just completely runs out wide there and gives us 8th place. So fairly dramatic start to this Grand Prix. Now we got the inside of Magnussen, who has front wing damage as well. So maybe he was involved with Raikkonen at Turn 1. But yeah, crazy start to this Grand Prix. We're now up into 7th. We've got Daniel Kvyat in 6th place in that Toro Rosso, which seems to have decent speed this season, despite being in a Renault engine. That's fairly odd, but these drivers are definitely outperforming their car as we go around the outside of Daniel there, the young Russian, and into 6th place. So next up is Sebastian Vettel in that Red Bull, and he's holding ground fairly nicely now. So cutting to lap 4 now, and I don't think tyre wear is exactly an issue yet. We're scheduled to do a 1-stop, so we need to make these tyres last, so we need to look after these tyres over the course of the race. But now we'll be trying to get the inside of Vettel here coming into turn 3. Should be an easy overtake under brakes. The Lotus can't really pull up there into turn 3, so Vettel gets P5 back, so that's a little bit frustrating. So we'll need to work on getting that spot back as soon as we can. We've saved up most of our curves for later on in the lap. I might save it coming into the fast left-right chicane. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But we're pretty close to Vettel now, so we might try a lunge now coming into turn 8. We'll have to wait and see. Vettel goes defensive. Are we going to get the inside coming into turn 8? No, we just fake to the inside, do an Alonso flick, but nothing really comes to that. So now Vettel slow on the back straight here. We're using most of our curves here to go round the outside. Can we make the move stick? It's going to be very close coming through here, but we get the move done. Round the outside now and into P5. Next up is Daniel Ricciardo now, who's getting held up by Rosberg, who goes off the track and into the gravel trap. That's a very costly mistake for Rosberg, who was in 2nd place. Now he's dropped down maybe 3 or 4 spots now. That's going to cost him a lot of time now. But either way, we're up into P4. Daniel Ricciardo doing fantastically in that Red Bull in 3rd place. Fernando Alonso is in 2nd. And I believe Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes is leading the Grand Prix. So 5 laps done in this Australian Grand Prix, and this Lotus has dragged us up from last place all the way up to 4th now. And one thing I've noticed about driving this car straight away after using the Force India last season is that this car has really good rear grip and rear traction. It allows me to push a lot more and drive a lot more comfortably as we pass Alonso there on the exit of the left-right chicane. But now cutting to lap 8, and Jenson Button now leads this Grand Prix. So Lewis Hamilton was leading this Grand Prix, so was Nico Rosberg. We get so close to Jenson Button's rear wing there. You wouldn't dare get any closer than that, otherwise the front wing would have just crimpled on the back of his car there. But now we're trying to set up a pass here. Can we go around the outside or up the inside? We're going to go around the outside now into turn 3. Jenson leaves us just enough room. But we didn't shift down into first gear quick enough. We overshot the exit of that corner, and now Jensen's going around the outside. Still going side by side through here. Can we hold it? Yes, we can. We now have the lead of the Grand Prix. And just as I was saying before, the Mercedes started on the front row, and now they've had their own set of issues. Rosberg going off at turn 3, and I have no idea what happened to Hamilton, but these Mercedes have absolutely thrown away this Grand Prix. We now lead from Alonso and Ricciardo. We're now coming in for what should be our only pit stop of the Grand Prix. Alonso follows me in too, but I think the Red Bulls will be coming in either on the next lap or the lap after. So it seems their tyre wear has been fairly good in comparison to the rest of the field, as Ricciardo now takes the lead of the Grand Prix from Vettel. But we don't need to worry too much because effectively we still have the race lead once the 2 Red Bulls come in for their stop. So now for the next couple of laps I'm going to save a little bit of fuel, get the tyres up to temperature without pushing too much, as Vettel sets a fastest lap of the Grand Prix near the end of his stint, so that was a bit weird. But now cutting to lap 27, Ricciardo has now come in for his stop, so that now gives us the effective race lead. So it should be a pretty cruisy run to the finish line here, as now we cut to 42 and we've lost our KERS. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it doesn't hurt us too much, as now we cut to lap 44, now lapping our teammate Romain Grosjean. I don't know what it is about these career modes, but my teammates are absolutely terrible, lapping them every single Grand Prix. But now cutting to the final lap, nothing else really happened. Alonso couldn't really challenge us on the prime tyres, it seems. We were slowly eking out that lead ever so much, lap after lap. So it was a fairly controlled Grand Prix. We were controlling the pace, going fastest whenever we really wanted to, but I was just making sure that my car, or my tyres more specifically, got to the end of the Grand Prix without too much tyre wear. So we managed to pull off this strategy pretty perfectly, and now coming out of the final corner now, we've got off to the perfect start to this career mode season. A win here in our home race.
Well done. to win first place.
So there we go, a home win on the streets of Melbourne. We won the Grand Prix from Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel in third. Daniel Ricciardo, his first race for Red Bull, in fourth place. Lewis Hamilton, after starting on the front row, was in 10th. And Nico Rosberg, as far as I can see, isn't even in the points. So the Mercs going from front row start to absolute disaster in this Grand Prix. Bottas, Rosberg, Chilton, Bianchi, Ericsson, Sutil, and Kimi Raikkonen didn't manage to finish this Grand Prix, so it's a bit of a disaster for those guys. Now let's have a look at the driver's standings.
You're topping the Drivers' Championship. Keep this up and we'll be crowning you champion at the end of the season.
Alright, so we got off to the perfect start to what was a pretty crazy Australian Grand Prix. Make sure you like the video if you want to see more videos like this. It's going to be a pretty close battle between us, Lotus, and Red Bull Racing, and possibly Mercedes once they sort their lives out. But that's been this video for today. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. But until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.